The flight from New York to Los Angeles was supposed to be a quiet one. Most passengers were half asleep, headphones in, scrolling, or lost in their own worlds. But in seat 14B and 14C, two little girls slept soundly, their braids resting against soft travel pillows, their hands still clasped together. They were identical twins, 8 years old, and traveling alone. Flight attendant Melissa Hayes glanced at them briefly as she passed. She raised an eyebrow, not out of concern but judgment. Two unaccompanied black children, alone in business class, her lips curved into the kind of smile that hides more than it shows. "Whose kids are those?" whispered another attendant, Rebecca. Melissa shrugged. Apparently their guardian boarded them early. Some private arrangement, probably one of those celebrity types playing hero. She rolled her eyes, walked on, and muttered under her breath, "They'll probably cry halfway through the flight." But they didn't. They just slept, peacefully. As the plane climbed through the clouds, turbulence began to shake the cabin. Seatbelts clicked. Cups rattled. A few passengers gasped softly. Melissa steadied herself, half annoyed. "It's always the same," she murmured. "People act like they've never flown before." She reached the twins' row to check their seatbelts. Both buckled, both asleep. But as she leaned closer, she noticed something strange. Around one twin's neck hung a military dog tag, the kind worn by soldiers. And on the other twin's wrist, a bracelet with an insignia she didn't recognize. Melissa frowned. "What's this now?" she whispered. "Fashion accessories for kids?" She almost reached out to remove it, but a voice stopped her. "Don't touch that." It was Mr. Peterson, the elderly passenger in the aisle seat beside them. His voice was steady, calm. "Their father gave those to them," he said. "And you don't want to be the one to disrespect what those mean." Melissa blinked, irritated. "Excuse me, sir, I'm just making sure they're safe." "They are," Peterson replied firmly. "Safer than you think." 30 minutes later, turbulence hit again, this time worse. The aircraft jolted sharply. Oxygen masks shook loose and lights flickered. The intercom crackled. "This is your captain speaking. We're experiencing unexpected turbulence, folks, but there's nothing to worry about." Except there was. Behind the calm voice, something was off. A minute later, the captain's voice returned, this time tense. "Ladies and gentlemen, if there's anyone on board with military flight experience, please press your call button immediately." The cabin fell silent. Heads turned. Whispers spread like static. What did he just say? Military flight experience? Is this a joke? Even Melissa froze. She turned to Rebecca, eyes wide. Why would he ask that? No one pressed their button. No one moved. The captain spoke again, urgency creeping into his voice. "If there's anyone trained as a fighter pilot, please, we need your assistance in the cockpit." Gasps. Phones dropped. Someone started to cry. Melissa's pulse spiked. "Oh my God," she whispered. "What's happening up there?" Then, the unthinkable. A small voice from behind her said, "Our daddy's a pilot." Everyone turned. The twins were awake now, rubbing their eyes. One of them, the one with the dog tag, looked around and said softly, "He flies fighter jets." The cabin erupted in murmurs. Melissa kneeled down beside them, forcing a nervous smile. "Sweetie, that's very brave of your daddy, but right now the captain just needs a grown-up, okay?" The other twin, quieter but firmer, said, "Daddy said if something goes wrong, we show them the badge." From her small backpack, she pulled out a laminated card, U.S. Air Force identification. The name on it, Captain Marcus D. Johnson. Melissa froze. That name sounded familiar, but how? Before she could speak, the cockpit door cracked open slightly and the co-pilot stepped out, face pale. "We need help," he said. "Our captain lost consciousness. He had a stroke." The cabin gasped. The twins stood up. Their voices were calm, eerily calm for children their age. "He taught us what to do," one said. "If the plane ever gets scared, you have to call for Daddy's people." The co-pilot looked stunned. "What do you mean?" Mr. Peterson rose from his seat, pulling something from his jacket. A small metal pin gleaming under the cabin light. It was the insignia of the Air National Guard. "I know what they mean," he said quietly. "Their father's unit is on call. These aren't just any kids, within minutes." The control tower confirmed it. Captain Marcus Johnson, a decorated Air Force pilot, had arranged for his daughters to travel under a classified guardianship. Their flight was being monitored remotely. with backup communication open to military channels. When the control center received the emergency distress signal, they patched through a remote guidance system. The voice on the line, a pilot from Marcus Johnson's own squadron, and in that moment, the passengers heard the most unexpected announcement of their lives. Through the loudspeaker came a calm, confident voice. "This is Captain Johnson. I'm here with you. My girls are safe and so are you." The twins looked up, smiling through tears. "Daddy?" one whispered. "Daddy's flying with us now," the other said softly. The plane stabilized. Every passenger sat still, holding their breath as the turbulence eased and the sky opened up. Sunlight spilled across the clouds like gold dust. Melissa's hands trembled as she looked at the twins, still calm, still holding each other's hands. I'm sorry," she said quietly. "I didn't know." Mr. Peterson looked at her and said, "That's the thing about respect. You shouldn't wait to know before you give it." She lowered her eyes, tears forming. The arrogance in her smile had vanished, replaced by something heavier. Shame. When the plane finally landed, paramedics rushed the unconscious captain to the hospital. The twins were escorted off by uniformed officers who saluted them gently. Every passenger watched in silence. One by one, they realized the weight of what had just happened. Two little girls, half the size of everyone else on board, had carried the courage of their father. The same courage that kept them safe when the sky itself trembled. Before stepping out, one of the twins turned back to Melissa and whispered, "Daddy says everyone has a mission. Yours is to be kind." And just like that, they were gone. That night, as the story hit the news, the headline read, "Hero pilot saves passengers mid-air, guided by his twin daughters." But what the cameras didn't capture was the moment Melissa sat alone in the empty cabin, running her fingers over the seatbelt of 14B and 14C, whispering, "Patience, faith, dignity." The same three words that would forever change how she saw the people she once looked down on. You never know who you're sitting beside or what battles they've already won. Sometimes the smallest souls carry the biggest strength, and sometimes the sky itself salutes them.